morning and welcome to Be at Home by Dawn. Again, this is Dawn and welcome to my home. This is my she pad. So I wanted to focus July on health, and mainly I'm going to focus on physical health, um, but there's going to be some mental health a little bit touchy in there, and some financing that they all tie in together. Again, I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist or a physical therapist. I'm just a woman who's been on all kinds of yo-yo diets and up and down in weight, and I just want to share my experiences with you and help each other get in good health. So what I want to start with is my experience. So what kickstarted this whole want to do a health videos was that I was in the doctor's office a few weeks ago. I had carpal tunnel surgery in my hand, and I went to the doctor to have the stitches removed. And the doctor left a room for a couple moments, but left my chart open. And me being the nosy person that I am, I looked in my chart, and it said, please talk to the patient about BMI. BMI is too high. I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream, because this doctor only knew me for a couple of visits, didn't know the struggles that I was going through or had gone through to be healthy. This morning when I weighed myself, I was 194.5 pounds. When I was my hardcore working out, watching everything that was going into my body, I was only at 150, which even at 150, my BMI was still considered too high. But let me tell you the sacrifices. I was working out 3 hours a day, every day, Monday through Friday. So what does that do? That takes mom away from the home. Why was I doing that? Because at that time in my life, I had some people in my life that basically made me feel that my physical appearance was the only thing about me that was making them love me. I was told if I get fat, I was going to get kicked out of bed and forced to do Jane Fonda workouts. So a majority of my adulthood, I thought the only way people were going to love me is if I looked good. And I already at that time did not feel that I looked good. I grew up with a mother who was fabulous, okay? But she was tall, she was slender, she was beautiful, she was stylish. And when she was younger, before she got married and had children, she was in beauty pageants, and she came in 4th place to be Miss Pennsylvania. So I had that in my mind, is I'm short. I got her mother's genes. I'm short and I'm bigger boned, and I was a tomboy. So I knew I was never going to be tall and slender. I was a tomboy, so in my early life, I wanted nothing to do with style. So I have no style. So I had all this going on, and it hurt. It hurt, that feeling like for people to love me, I have to look beautiful. I have to do this. I have to do that. And I went through ups and downs where there were sometimes, I just gave up. I went into depression sometimes, and I gave up. So then my weight would go up. And then I would get those little nudges like, oh, Dawn, you're putting on the weight. And so then I would go on these crazy, not diet fads. I never had an eating disorder, thank God. But these are things what people don't realize when they say things to people, what is going on in their mind, and should you say these things? I've seen people call other people fat cows and things like that, and you know what? That's hurtful. It's hurtful. You don't know what struggles are going on in somebody's mind, what they're thinking. So I just feel that this needs to be a safe place for everybody. So I do encourage you liking and subscribing to my channel and making comments. But I will, if there's any negative comments, they will be deleted. I want this to be my home, which it is, and for you to feel safe. So what I want to start with is healthy eating, So my general belief is moderation. I don't want anyone going out there cutting out sugar, cutting out carbs, cold turkey. Everything is okay in moderation. So what I would do to help myself, because I always had a hard time determining what was considered a good portion, I would use a smaller dinner plate. And I would put the protein on my plate. I would put more vegetable on my plate and a little bit of carbohydrates. Because I believe that most nutritionists will tell you that your body needs carbs, it needs fat. So you need to be able to just level it out. And if you're a soda drinker, make it once a day or once a week, depending on, what your addiction to soda is. Like personally for me, I'm not a big soda drinker. I have a lot of food allergies, and soda is one of the ones I try to avoid. But when I do drink soda, it's generally ginger ale, Sprite, or cream soda. Because I will admit it, I have a sweet tooth, and that's something that I inherited from my father. So usually what my day will consist of, I start with a hot sweet tea. Because like I said, I love sugar, I'm allergic to coffee. And then I'll be drinking like a soda or a lemonade. So I'm going to try along with you. You're not in this journey alone. We're going to work together and support each other on getting healthy. So let's start with some cutbacks. Where the finances come in is, let's stop going to fast food. I mean, luckily, my family were not big fast food people. But I know there are some people who are like, hey, you know what? You're running around. You have to drop your daughter off here, your son there. Let's go through the drive-through. We need something. And I get that. On the occasion, that's totally acceptable, but not for an everyday. You can have a piece of pizza, just not the whole pizza. It's all about moderation. And with the cost of takeout food, fast food, it does not help your budget. You're spending all this money for one meal when you could have made a couple of meals with that same exact money. So let's concentrate on getting away from the fast food. If there's an emergency, oh yeah, please, be smart about it. But like my example was 2 weekends ago, I ordered myself a large pizza. And it wasn't for myself. It's just I had the house to myself. I had the day where I was, just staying in the pool all day, and I just chilling out, having some dawn time. And I wanted to treat myself to a pizza, to my favorite pizzeria. So I ordered a large plain pizza. $20. A couple weeks, or actually a couple months now, I ordered 2 pizzas and some wings for my family. It was $85. And there wasn't any kind of specialty pizzas. They weren't fancy and maybe extra cheese, pepperoni kind of thing. So I was thinking after I did that, I was like, you know what? I could have spent that money, went to the grocery store, and you can make your own pizzas. Here's another way. Make your own pizza. Turn the TV off. Get the kids, get the family in the kitchen. Make your own pizzas. Turn the radio up and just have like a family night. Make the pizza. Or the other option, what I did was sometimes I have to pick up and drop off my one stepdaughter to work. So sometimes if I have a crazy day, I bought 3 pizzas at my local grocery store, and they were 3 for $10. Well, that's a lot cheaper than 1 pizza for $20. And with the 3 pizzas, it'll definitely feed all of us. I probably only have to cook 2 to feed all of us. So it's things like that you want to consider. Can you make it better? These fast food places, they're convenient for convenience sakes for those busy nights, yes. But do you want to be spending $30, $40 every night, and then all that sodium and preservatives and stuff that are in there? And that's not good for you, especially if you're someone like me who has high blood pressure, I don't want all that sodium in my food every day. Once in a while, whatever. So let's concentrate on maybe doing some moderation. What I would usually do for breakfast is I would have um, plain oatmeal with some craisins in it and oatmeal, not oatmeal, almonds. I love it. That's my favorite breakfast. I don't add sugar because the crayon raisins already have enough natural sugars in it. But that was when I was working and working out. But I kept that diet because I liked it. But now that I'm not working, I don't need to have that heavy breakfast because I'm not on the go like I was. So what I'm gonna do is maybe start doing what my grandmother did, and I'm thinking she had something going on there. I mean, she lived to be almost 88 years old, and every morning she had a grapefruit. So, well, am I going to do a grapefruit every day? Probably not, but maybe I'll switch it out to every other day. You know, try if you're a soda sugar junkie like I am, give up the cereal, or make it something that has low sugar cereal. Just little steps like that. Now, when it comes to physical activity, like anything, I believe I mentioned this earlier, but let me mention it again because I forget. Please always contact your primary care physician. Since I am not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, please check with them and see what physical activity they will let you do, what diets they think are best for you, and things like that. But these are just some little stepping stones because we're starting fresh here, right? So I don't want to incur any debt for anybody. So I'm not going to be here promoting gyms or expensive gym equipment. A lot of the stuff I'm going to recommend is stuff that you can do at home with stuff that you probably already have in your home, and it costs nothing. So the best part for me was I was able to get my husband on board, and he agreed because he feels he should be a little healthier too. After dinner, we're going to start walking around the block, and then as time goes, we might add 2 blocks. But you don't want to do what I did, where you get so obsessed, where you're spending 2 or 3 hours a day away from home, where your family is hurting. You just want enough where you take, hey, you know what? I'm going to be going a half hour on walking around the block. Done. The other one is if you're fortunate enough to have steps in your home, walk up and down your steps or run up and down your steps for 10 minutes. Put your earbuds in, and that's your Stairmaster. And then you can also use the bottom step to help you if you want to start doing some lunges. Things like that, or things that I want to try and direct everyone to is doing exercises you could do at home. Like the one I just recently started was, and I need to get a little bit better at it, is going in my pool and maybe holding on to the edge and doing some flutter kicks for 10 to 15 minutes. And if you don't have a pool, you can do these flutter kicks on the floor, in your bed. You don't have to have the pool. And let's get away from the TV as much as possible. I know I grew up in the 80s. My uncle was a Sony dealer, and we would get all these upper class people's leftover TVs. And let me tell you, these TVs were not old, beaten up. These were last year's models kind of thing, and they want the newest models. So I grew up with a TV in my room. So I am a TV movie addict. So I am guilty of this. Let's try and maybe, go outside, sit outside. If you're not in the space to get some physical, at least get outside. Maybe get a small little bonfire and get the family out there and just chill out, or go outside and read a book. Just get some fresh air, because with the vitamin D that you get from the sun is so good for you. But then on the other side of that, please, if you are out inside for long periods of time, please put sunscreen on. You don't want to risk any skin problems in the future because you didn't wear sunscreen. So, things like that I want to discuss. These are going to be things that are going to go on in next month for my videos is giving little tips like this and little exercise tips, where you can do at home. But I feel like right now the first thing that's easiest for everybody, and most doctors generally agree, depending on your health, is getting around your neighborhood. Just go outside and take a walk, just walk around the block. And then with the food, the moderation. So let's start there, and let's stop being our own worst enemy. We got to stop letting people live in our minds rent free, because it does nobody good, especially us. The people who are letting the people live in there rent free. You got to live your best life. You need to live your best life for your family, and that's what's most important. So I hope this was a good overview of what's going to be coming up for July. Please, God bless. Please be safe and have a great week and a great life. And please like and subscribe. God bless you.